Hello, Bronco fans and football fans everywhere. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown on the MHRT Network. This is a show that is everything Broncos and sports topics related. I am your host, Bronco Bill. All right, guys, I got quite a few topics. I got Bronco news, of course. I have some retirement news, sad news, and Jackass of the week, as well as Colorado Avalanche update. So let's get started. First off, the Denver Broncos have signed their final two members of the rookie class as fourth-round picks, Damari Mathis and Ioma Uwazurek. They inked their first NFL deals on Thursday. Mathis was the 115th overall selection, and Uwazurek was 116th. Broncos had back-to-back selections. All 9 of the draft class of 2022 are now under contract. That's great news. Absolutely great news. Not one single player that was drafted did not sign. That is great. That means that these guys want to be on the team. Of course they do. They're drafted. Of course they want to be on the team. But it's more than that to me. It's the fact of a new head coach, a new coaching staff, a new ownership group. Can't say enough that Russel Wilson's on the team. So obviously they are excited. They wanted to be on this team. They signed the rookie contract. That is great news. All right. The Denver Broncos have announced practice dates for the 2022 training camp. The team will host 14 open practices this summer for fans to attend. Training camp will begin July 27th at UC Health Center. There will also be a joint practice with the Dallas Cowboys the last day, August 11th. Practices will run from July 27th through August 11th. All practices will begin at 10 a.m. Now, I know that most of you that are watching and or listening are not living in the Denver area per se, but I wanted to throw out those dates because it means we're getting closer to the season. And this is a downtime pretty much for Broncos news as far as anything changing. That's why I'm bringing in some of these other news topics of the Broncos, because it is a slow time because it's their break. It's their break. They've already gone through OTAs. They've already gone through mandatory workouts. They've already had the draft, obviously. So it's the time for the players, the coaching staff, and whatnot to take a breather, take a break. But come July 27th, they're going to be back at practice. It's going to be open to the public starting at 10 a.m. So anybody who might be in the Denver area, the greater Colorado area that wants to attend, I wanted to put that out there so that you would know the dates that the open practices are going to be. Now, August 11th being the last day and a practice with the Dallas Cowboys, preseason is right around the corner, guys. We are at the end of June, or close to the end of June, the last week or so. Then July, pretty much 2/3 of July will be part of their break as well. And then July 27th, first day of practice. That's exciting. Exciting because football is right around the corner. And also, for those who can go to the practices at UC Health, that's great because they get to see Russell Wilson in action. They get to see him right in front of their very eyes. And there's going to be an excitement, a buzz, an energy that hasn't been felt in previous years. I mean, last 5-6 years it hasn't been felt. It's going to be felt starting July 27th. And that is great news. Absolutely great news. All right, let's go to a retirement by a tight end. Not the first time retired, but here it is. After 11 seasons and 4 Super Bowl championships, Rob Gronkowski has announced his retirement again. Gronkowski retired in 2019, only to have Tom Brady talk him out of it and playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Will Brady be able to talk him out again? That's interesting. But Gronkowski says this time is for real. Well, we'll see how real it really is. The reason why he came out of retirement when he retired in 2019 was because he retired as a New England Patriot. Tom Brady was still on the Patriots, and Tom Brady, quote, said he was retiring. Well, we all know that Tom Brady came out of retirement, went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he coerced and talked Rob Gronkowski into unretiring, so to speak, and coming back into the NFL and playing for Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which he did. Played for 2 seasons with Tampa Bay, and they won a championship the first year that Brady was there, as well as Gronkowski. If Tom Brady stays on Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Gronkowski, in my opinion, stays retired because he's already done what he wanted to do. He won championships in New England, and then he followed Tom Brady, so to speak, after Brady talked him out of retiring, to play for Tampa Bay and to win another Super Bowl. So if Brady stays with Tampa Bay, I don't see any reason why Gronkowski would come back after he said he's retiring. If Tom Brady, let's say, were to leave and go to the Miami Dolphins or somewhere else, then possibly. I don't see Gronkowski coming out of retirement a second time. I really don't. But it would be interesting if that were to happen. I don't think it will, but it'd be interesting. All right, let's go to Ryan Fitzpatrick. The former 17-year NFL quarterback, Ryan Fitzpatrick, will become Amazon Prime Video's newest Thursday Night Football analyst. He will be part of the pregame, halftime, and postgame coverage. Amazon is really trying to beef up their inaugural season in broadcasting Thursday Night Football. Now, I'm not a big fan of Ryan Fitzpatrick. He seems a little bit out there for me. But then again, Amazon is trying to lure fans to watch their show. Obviously, they are absolutely trying to lure people. That's what you do. You try and get viewers. That's what makes it work. So Ryan Fitzpatrick not being actually analyzing the game, but doing the pregame, the halftime, and the postgame. So, I'm going to tune in to see what it looks like, how it's presented, what format it looks like. But like I said, I'm not a big fan of Ryan Fitzpatrick, but that's basically not the reason why I won't watch continually. I watch the main networks because I like those announcers. I really like those announcers. So I may tune in, here and there just to see what Amazon is saying and how, not what Amazon's saying, but what I'm saying, what those people on Amazon, how it's presented, what the style looks like. But for the most part, I'm sticking with network television because that's what I really like. That's what I'm familiar with, and that's what I like. I just thought it was interesting that Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to be on the Amazon Thursday night broadcast. All right, now I got to go to sad news. I really don't like bringing this type of news. I really don't. But it's happening way, way, way too often. Way too often in the NFL. I can't ever remember so many athletes in the National Football League that are passing away at such a young age. I just can't wrap my head around it. I know CTE may have a huge part in it, but it seems like there's something else going on. I don't know if it's the pressure. I don't know what it is, but it is happening way too often. Here I go. The Baltimore Ravens announced the passing of outside linebacker Jalen Ferguson on Wednesday. Ferguson was 26 years young. That's extremely sad. There hasn't been a cause of death, but the Baltimore police have said it's questionable. They also said, and I quote, "We don't determine the cause of death, but we can consider the possibility of an overdose." End quote. That's harsh, guys. That is harsh. That's harsh because it hurts. It hurts to see these young men, these young athletes in the prime of their life, in the prime of their football career, gone. It's extremely sad. I'm not going to speculate what the cause of death was. I don't know, and I'm not going to speculate. I am just extremely saddened for the Baltimore Ravens organization, for the family of Jalen Ferguson, for his teammates, for his friends, his associates, and it's extremely sad. Extremely sad. My heart goes out to all of those I mentioned. It's extremely sad, and we have to find a reason why this is happening. It's happening way too often, like I mentioned. On the heels of that comes a second sad news from the same team. Former Baltimore Ravens Super Bowl champion Tony Siragusa has passed away at the age of 55. That's still too young, guys. It's still way too young. No cause of death has been released. Siragusa worked for Fox Sports as a sideline reporter from 2003 to 2015. He is survived by his wife and 3 children. Extremely sad. Not one from Baltimore, but 2 within days of each other. Extremely sad. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I absolutely don't know what else to say other than my condolences again to the Baltimore Raven organization, to the ownership of the organization, to the former players of Tony Siragusa, to Fox Sports, who he worked for all those years. My heart goes out to them who knew him, the players that he interviewed on the sideline or talked about on the sideline, the entire National Football League. Way too many decals going on helmets of teams with the numbers or the name of a person that passed away. It's heartbreaking. It really is heartbreaking. Yes, it's sad anytime someone passes away, but at a young age, 26 and 55, it's mind-boggling. It really is mind-boggling. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to speculate on Tony Siragusa's cause of death either. I'm not going to, because I don't know. I just know it is extremely sad that these NFL players and former NFL players are passing away way too many. Way too many. To Tony Siragusa's family and to Jalen Ferguson's family and all of those who knew both of them, my heart goes out to you. Condolences to those families who knew both Tony Siragusa and Jalen Ferguson. May you both rest in peace. All right. Okay. Now I go to Deshaun Watson. Now, Deshaun Watson's basically a topic on every show that I'm doing because he just won't go away. What has gone away are 20 of the 24 accusers of sexual harassment. Cleveland quarterback Deshaun Watson has settled out of court with 20 of the 24 women accusing him of sexual misconduct. The other 4 women want their day in court. Watson said, and I quote, "All I want is to clear my name and be able to let all of the facts come out in the court of law and be able to focus on that." End quote. Wait a minute. If he wants his name to be cleared and he wants all the facts to come out in court, why did he settle with 20 out of the 24? If he really feels that he's innocent and not guilty of anything, why would you settle? To me, and I've had people tell me it's not an admission of guilt, it's not an admission of anything doing wrong to settle. Okay, that's your opinion. My opinion is simply this. If you haven't done anything wrong, why not go through the process? Why settle out of court? You settle out of court because you don't want whatever they're going to say be said in court that the public can hear. Okay. Well, if you haven't done anything wrong, why are you concerned? What does it bother you? Why are you settling out of court if you haven't done anything wrong, as he claims? But yet he says that, and let me say this again, because it doesn't make sense. It says, and I quote again, "All I want is to clear my name and be able to let all of the facts come out in court of law and be able to focus on that." End quote. Doesn't make sense to me. If you want all the facts to come out in the court of law, then why not have all 24? I mean, if it's 1 or it's 4 or it's 24, these four women are not going to go away, Deshaun. They want their day in court, and you say you do too. So we will find out the facts. And I'm hoping you're correct. I don't think so. Why would there be 24 women that are accusing you and you settle with 20 of them? Just saying. It doesn't make sense to me that you say one thing, basically, that you want to settle and be done with it, and then on the next sentence, you say you want your day in court. You want the facts to come out. Can't have it both ways, buddy. I know you're trying, but you can't have it both ways. There also could be a very severe suspension handed down to Deshaun Watson by the NFL, regardless what happens in the court of law and or the 20 settlements. Doesn't matter. The NFL has their own rules and their own regulations. And if they deem that this was detrimental to the NFL, conduct detrimental to the NFL, they will suspend him. And I've heard it could be up to 2 years. I would think more realistically, it might be a year. But what does that do to the Cleveland Brown organization? What an absolute mess. Not only for Deshaun Watson, but for the Cleveland Browns, because they gave Watson guaranteed money. And he might not even play in 2022. Wow is all I can say. Absolutely. This subject is not going away anytime soon, guys. I mean, this topic is not going away. It's going to be interesting to see what happens down the road. All right, guys. Now I go to the Jackass of the week. Okay, this week's Jackass of the week goes to the owner of the Washington Commanders. That's right, Daniel Snyder. Daniel Snyder has been basically ordered to testify before the House Committee about the workplace misconduct and sexual harassment within the Commanders organization. The NFL fined the Commanders $10 million last summer after an investigation into the organization. Snyder has refused to testify, and the House Committee will issue a subpoena to force him to testify should he continue to decline. Now, they made it as simple as possible. They, being the House Committee, has made it as simple as possible to do a virtual interview or virtual testimony, like on a Zoom call or something of that nature. They have made it extremely easy. But Daniel Snyder refuses to cooperate. He refuses to testify. Now the House Committee is going to issue a subpoena. That means he has to, or he's going to be charged with contempt of court. Dan Snyder, if you haven't done anything wrong, why aren't you willing to testify? Again, to me, it sounds like he's hiding something. Of course he is. Of course he's hiding something. But it's all going to come out in the wash, so to speak, because he is going to be subpoenaed to testify. Now, Could that mean that he would be forced, if found guilty? Okay, and I mean, the law still says innocent till proven guilty. Okay, I understand that. My thing is, if he's found guilty, does that mean he's going to have to sell the Washington Commanders? And if that's the case, it's an ugly situation all around. The NFL has a lot of dirty laundry that they have to deal with. Not only with Deshaun Watson, now with Daniel Snyder. They've had issues with, golly, I can't remember his name now. The former head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm sorry, name escapes me. I know you guys will tell me who it is in chat, and that's perfectly good. But I'm saying the NFL has a lot of baggage that they have to clean up. And they don't want this image, ugly spot on their league. Not at all. I don't blame them one bit. But they have to look at it square in the face. And they have to deal with it. And now, not only Deshaun Watson's situation, you got the Daniel Snyder situation. Very, very, very ugly times that the NFL has to deal with. Do I feel that Daniel Snyder is hiding something? Absolutely. And he's going to be forced to testify. One way or another, he's going to be forced to testify. And it's not going to be a good situation for him, for the Commanders, or for the National Football League. But, oh my gosh, Daniel Snyder, just do what you need to do. Just do the right thing. Just be forthright. Admit, own it. You did something wrong. Now you need to own up to it. And the House Committee is going to make sure that you do, one way or another. All right. Let's go to Peyton Manning and Russell Wilson. This is interesting. I like this. This is good. So, Russell Wilson and Peyton Manning. The Broncos summer break has begun, and with the players off till July 27th, it was time for Peyton Manning and Russell Wilson to head to Coors Field. Why would they go to Coors Field? I'm going to tell you why. Both Manning and Wilson were dressed in Rockies uniforms, recording segments for the upcoming season of Peyton's Place on ESPN. Why the Rockies? Well, Wilson was drafted by the Rockies in 2010, and Manning is very close to former college teammate and former Rockies player Todd Helton. I think that's great. I think that is absolutely great. Now, I've mentioned before in one of my shows that Peyton Manning basically has taken Russell Wilson under his arm and has basically informed him, guided him as to what the Denver Broncos organization is all about, how they conduct their business, how things are done. And instead of Russell Wilson just walking into the Broncos organization at Dove Valley or UC Health Center, if that's where it is now, and basically going in there blindsided, or not blindsided, excuse me, that's the wrong word, blindfolded, basically, not knowing the ins and outs, Peyton Manning took him aside and has, like I said, taken him under his arm, under his wing, and showed him the ropes. And for Peyton Manning to ask Russell Wilson to be part of the segments involving Peyton's Place that's on ESPN, I think it's a great thing. I think it's great that they did it at Coors Field because, like I mentioned, Russell Wilson was drafted by the Colorado Rockies in 2010 to play baseball. He chose to play football and subsequently played for the Seattle Seahawks until this year when the Broncos traded for Russell Wilson. I think it's great. I think it shows camaraderie. It shows friendship. It shows leadership. It shows, hey, I admire you. I respect you. I want you to be part of the segments of Peyton's Place. I love it. I think it is great. Peyton Manning is an ambassador for the Denver Broncos. He really is. He is front and center, all in favor on the Denver Broncos. And to take Russell Wilson, who is now the Broncos franchise quarterback, to want him to be part of his show on ESPN is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I love every bit of it. Absolutely love every bit of it. Can't wait to watch that and see Russell Wilson and what he and what he is or did in those segments. It's going to be fun to watch, and can't wait to see that. Okay, now let's go to last segment of this week's show. You got it. Avalanche update. The Colorado Avalanche, after taking a 2-game-to-none lead in the best-of-7 Stanley Cup Finals against the Tampa Bay Lightning, lost Game 3 in Tampa Bay 6-2. The entire team was flat, and Darcy Kemper was pulled halfway through the second period. I was extremely concerned playing Tampa Bay in Tampa Bay. I knew it wasn't going to be easy, but getting basically shellacked 6-2 after we won Game 2 in Colorado, 7-0. I thought for sure this could possibly be a sweep. Not so fast. Then came Game 4. Game 4 was Wednesday night. Things would be different. The game. Lost my point. The game was tied and went to overtime, and who else but Nazem Kadri, playing in his first Stanley Cup Finals after thumb surgery, scored the winning goal. Final, Avalanche 3, Tampa Bay 2. Colorado takes a commanding 3-1 series lead. But there was controversy on that final goal in overtime. There was controversy. The coach for Tampa Bay, Connor, he claimed that there were 6 players on the ice. Now, the way it's determined, it's not reviewable. First off, it's not reviewable. Even if a goal is scored, you cannot review it. So Connor could not challenge the call or the non-call of 6 players on the ice for Colorado. Thus, that would have resulted in a penalty, too many men on the ice, and the Avalanche would not have been awarded the goal. The reason why you can't, I don't know the reason why you can't challenge it, but I do know that all 4 referees on the ice got together and none said that they saw 6 Colorado Avalanche players on the ice at the same time. Now, the way it works is when a player is going to the bench, okay, he goes to the bench. He has to be within 5 feet of the board or 5 feet of the door, the gate, they call it a gate, to go in to the bench. He has to be within 5 feet. And if he's within the 5 feet, then a player can come over the boards and onto the ice. Yes, there's still technically 6 players on the ice, but 1 player is heading to the bench and giving himself up because he's within 5 feet of the gate, 5 feet of the bench. Connor claims that Nathan MacKinnon, who was going off the ice, it says Connor claims that Nathan MacKinnon was not within 5 feet of the bench. Camera angles do show that there were 6 players on the ice, but it doesn't show whether Nathan MacKinnon was at the 5-foot area or closer. That part doesn't show because of the angle of the camera. Therefore, since no referee, and there's 4 of them, since no referees on the ice at that time saw Nathan MacKinnon further away than 5 feet, neither one of them said that they saw Nathan MacKinnon away from 5 feet away from, or more than 5 feet away from the board. Therefore, the ruling on the ice stood, and the goal by Nazem Kadri was allowed to stand. Therefore, the Avalanche won the game 3-2 in overtime on a magnificent goal by Nazem Kadri, up over the shoulder of Vasilevsky, and actually stuck in the top of the net. Now, the net kind of comes up like this, okay? It comes up like this and down. It's stuck at the top, got caught in the netting, and they didn't even know it was a goal. Nobody on the ice knew it was a goal. I didn't even know it was a goal watching it. I thought, in fact, the announcer said, what an incredible save by Vasilevsky, because that's what it looked like. Nobody could see the puck because it was tucked underneath. And then when you did see the puck from a different angle, it looked like it may have been on top of the net. On top, not underneath and stuck on the net, but on top. But in slow motion, you could see that the puck went over the shoulder of Vasilevsky and stuck in the top part of the net, inside the netting, and a very, very good, accurate, clean goal. Connor doesn't think so, because he still thinks there were 6 players on the ice at the time that Nazem Kadri took the puck, skated in, and scored the winning goal. Well, I know that controversy is all around in sports, but if you cannot challenge a play, and you cannot challenge, in this case, a possible too many men on the ice, and you have to let it be, it has to rely on the 4 officials and refs that are on the ice, and none of them saw it, you have to let it go. You have to let it go. Now, that being said, Game 5, a possible potential Stanley Cup clinching game for the Colorado Avalanche is Game 5 is tonight at Denver, 5 p.m. Pacific time. The Avalanche, excuse me, guys, the Avalanche can clinch the Stanley Cup championship with a win at home. Oh my goodness. You know I'm going to be watching that game. You know I'm going to be yelling as loud as I can. I want all of Colorado to know that I am, and I have their back, and I am their number 1 fan in Southern California. That's it, guys. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And before I check out here, let me just remind you of the other shows that are on the MHRT Network. On Tuesday, live 4, 5, 6, and 7 is the 5280 podcast. It is hosted by Madungus Creevy, Glenn Hauser, and Boggins, Bree, and Cam. Don't miss it. It's a great, great show. On Wednesday, we have the Wild Wild West, and that features a fan from every AFC West team: Broncos, Raiders, Chargers, and Chiefs. That is live every 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, and 7:30. And then on Thursday, it is Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast. It is hosted by Johnny Baki and his really good friend Isaiah Henderson, as well as Johnny's cousin Jay. That goes live every Thursday, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then on Friday, my show, Broncos Breakdown, and it drops every Friday, posted 11, 12, 1, and 2. Guys, tune in to any one of these shows. Thanks for your support. Subscribe. Click the link below. Subscribe, and please enjoy any show that you choose. We greatly appreciate it. And don't forget, Avalanche game tonight, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Don't miss it. It could be an absolute electric night. That's it, guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the games. Enjoy the weekend. And we will talk to you next Friday. Bye-bye.